Welcome to Botches Off-Road. Join us as we talk about everything from gear reviews to trail stories, tent camping to rock landing, and all things outdoors. This is going to be a little bit of a different episode. This is the post-sode, if you will. No, not even that. This is a filler episode. Just interviews, a little bit of voiceover, talking about our recent Botches Off-Road Yearly trip. We like to do these about once a year just to, for club morale, really. So I will just jump right into it. And our first interviews are going to be the morning after we woke up from our first night at the site. All right, Gavin, how was your first night at the campsite?
Cold.
Just cold?
Yeah.
Spirits still high?
They never were.
Spirits are low. Things are looking bleak. First night at the campsite?
Cold. My back hurts this morning.
Are your spirits still high?
I don't know.
Lenny, how was your first night at the campsite?
Good.
How was your sleeping bag?
Good when I figured it out.
Okay. So Army bag's a little smarter than Kaylin, is that what you're saying?
Yes, very.
All right. How was your first night on the ground?
Don't buy cheap cots.
Yeah? cheap cot's bad idea?
Yes.
Spirits still high, you're still doing good?
Yep.
All right, sounds good. All right, Mark, how was your first night at the campsite?
Not bad. Just remember to grab a pillow from now on.
Pillows are important?
Yes, they are.
All right. Spirits still high?
Oh, yeah. Army sleeping bag, real good.
All right. That's day one. It was at this point that we decided it was time to start hitting some trails, and we started doing some of the closer trails around our campsite, which was on Trail 7516. First, we hit Trail NFS 5032. This is marked as a 5 out of 10. I'd give it more like a 1 or 2 out of 10. It's a really easy trail. And then we turned around, went on the main road, and came back around and hit NFS 715. 715 was pretty good. It's still a really easy trail. It's got some off-camber stuff, nothing crazy. Then we took Trail 7101 to try and cut around down to Trail 7520. 7101's a really cool trail. You've got some really beautiful forest views. You've got a little bit of off-camber. I'm sure in the spring or winter time it's kind of rough because there's some pretty good mud spots there. But overall, it's just an incredible trail. We then followed through 7520 or 7250, came up to 7522 and followed that around. And then we got on the Fine Line Trail. The Fine Line Trail has some of the best off-camber sections we experienced on the entire trip. It's a beautiful down and back. It's really short, only I think it's like a mile. Yeah, it's 1 mile long. And it's a really good confidence booster because there's a lot of off-camber, but nothing that you can't do in a stock rig. After that, we braked for lunch and came down to the 37 trail. That trail, they have it marked as a 5 out of 10. It's a 1 out of 10. This is the easiest trail we did the entire trip. I don't know who is the one who mapped that on Onyx, but it is the easiest trail to possibly do. Then we called it a day and ran into Cadillac for some stuff that we had forgotten, and then just came back to the site. And then I will turn it over to interviews. All right, Gavin, how was day one?
Good, except for the rain.
Yeah, the rain that came out of nowhere. Wasn't expecting that.
We got a lot of rain.
Yeah.
But everyone's rig is alive, except for some scratches.
Some pretty deep ones.
We're good.
Yeah, doing well. All right, Mark, how was it?
Pretty good. I gotta figure out why my bypass or my second air intake bypass is throwing codes to make me go in limp mode all the time.
Yeah.
So I gotta figure that one out.
Turtles are fun.
That too.
Yeah. Okay, maybe saying Mark was turtled wasn't quite the right term. He was hung up on a slight bump. He was able to back off it, so it wasn't technically turtled, but he couldn't move forward anymore. All right, Alan, how's your day?
Good.
Do you have any big news to share with the listeners?
I got a new cot.
Yeah, look at that. You can fucking sleep on the cot again. No more sleeping on the ground. So what you cooking for us tonight, Gavin?
We're doing some jambalaya. Got the
Enameled cast iron, huh?
enamel cast iron.
Hell yeah. Looking forward to some jambalaya. While Gavin was making us dinner, Mark decided that he would investigate an issue he'd been having with his truck for a while. I will let him tell you exactly what he found because it almost put a damper on our day. All right, Mark, why don't you explain the situation we're dealing with?
So, about 2 months ago, I discovered that my power steering reservoir leaks. And I haven't actually gone and looked to see what's been leaking yet. And so I decided to put sealant in it, and it didn't work. Discovered that today it was like low again. Filled it, drove the rest of the day, came back to camp. I decided to look at it, and it was pretty much empty again. I'm like, well, shit. Sealant's not working, there must be something going on. And I'm like, asked my brother, well, where does all this fluid can potentially go? And he said something about the boot. I'm like, wait a minute, my boot looks weird, and we talked about it like over about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So we didn't think much about it. I was poking at it and realized it was not being tempered. It didn't push in, it popped itself back out. I'm like, Alex, I think I figured out where power steering fluid is and why my boot's so weird. All of my power steering fluid's in my boots.
All of it. Every
All of
last
it.
drop.
Yep.
It just keeps blowing them up like balloons.
So I gotta replace the rack pinion now.
On the side, at least we're in camp.
Yes, at least we're at camp.
So, yeah, so that's our night now.
Yep. And jambalaya.
And jambalaya. Little did we know that Mark's rack and pinion was not our biggest problem. We can live with that. It's annoying, but it worked. No. There was something much, much, much bigger going on. All right, Mark. Why don't you give the update on what we found?
So we were in the process of figuring out how to drop my rack pinion, and Alex like, oh, fuck, we got a bigger problem. I'm like, what? That's because I thought he might have said something about my CV axle seal because it was been leaking. I've been meaning to replace it for a while. And so I came over. He's like, it's not that. I look. My outer boot is completely gone on my CV axle pretty much. So I gotta replace the CV axle now. Yay!
Botches Yearly. So me and Mark hopped in the 4Runner and ran into Cadillac and grabbed a CV axle for his truck. We were going to fix it that night, and we decided that we'd just take day 2 and just do some truck maintenance. So I will go on to day 2. At this point, we had just, spent some time at the campfire and went to bed, so there's not much to report on.
So how's everyone doing today?
Doing good.
Good. Ready for a down day of fixing trucks and not much wheeling?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm willing.
Spirits are still high?
Yep.
Alright, cool. And Gavin's wheeling to Meyer. Hell yeah.
All right, Alan, how was your trip hunting for food?
Good.
You didn't get any food. You
Coffee.
I guess coffee's food, but you brought back parts.
Yep.
So, he, oh, look, there's Mark Butt. That's NSFW. he should be done with that project soon, and then we'll just have a nice chill evening and then go wheeling tomorrow. While Mark worked on fixing his truck, we started a fire and made some dinner. We had tinfoil hobo packets for dinner on night 2. And Gavin decided that he wanted to make something, so I will let him tell you about it. So, what you making there, Gavin?
Bear? An owl? A totem? I don't know yet.
You gonna be our Botches spirit animal?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We need that. It's been a weekend already.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess it's time we better get an update from Mark on how the truck's going. So I will do that. You got the update there, Mark? How things are going with the truck?
Good. CV axle, new one's put on. Got away on the rack pinion, but that's another day.
Yeah, well.
Other than that, we're doing good.
How was your day of no wheeling, Kaylini?
It was alright. Kind of bored.
Really?
Like, it was fun, but
At this point, Gavin had realized that nobody had been recording me, so he decided that he better get a update from me on how things are going. I'd also decided this day that it was time to make some changes to the Forerunner.
All right. How's it going, Alex? How's
Still here.
cooking some food?
Yeah, I'm cooking some food. My truck's still doing good. I took the rear sway bar off.
With the right equipment. Right?
Yeah, grinder for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Through the sway bar because I couldn't get it out.
Yeah. So, what are you cooking?
Some tinfoil hobo packets.
Hobo packets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks
They're,
good.
About an hour in, and they're getting there.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yep.
We hung out for a few hours and just kind of chilled at the fire. Gavin worked on his bear owl alien thing. And then we called it a night and turned in, and that was the end of day 2.
All right, Mark, how you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, staying warm.
Oh yeah, staying nice and warm with that military sleeping bag.
Everything's put back together. Truck's ready to wheel today.
Yep, ready to wheel.
All right, sounds good. Camp chef, how you doing?
Good. Putting shit away.
You ready to do some wheeling?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We finished up breakfast and packed up camp. Then we got on the road and headed towards Yuma Hills was day 3. Once we got to the trailhead, we did some airing down, and then we headed out and we did the main Yuma Hills loop first, and then we decided to come back and sort through some of the other trails, and we got in some pretty gnarly stuff. But before we do that, we can have a little interview with Gavin.
All right, Gavin, you ready to do some Yuma Hills?
Yeah. Yep.
The hardest trail we're going to do this whole weekend?
That's the only thing you bought your truck up for.
Absolutely what I built it for.
Yep.
Well, we were hitting some of the not necessarily unmarked trails, but not marked on Onyx trails. We came across a really gnarly hill climb. It's not quite as good as Skipper Hill. Skipper Hill. It's not quite as good as Skidder Hill in Newego, but it's a pretty good little jaunt. The Forerunner made it up pretty well. The Taco gave it a really valiant effort, but at the end of the day, it's just a beautiful trail.
So, Mark, how's it going?
Doing good. Had fun trying to climb this hill over here.
Yeah,
Didn't make it.
It's pretty gnarly. Forerunner did it. Taco can't do it. But yeah, it's a good time.
At this point, we decided to break for lunch, and after lunch, we hit a couple more trails. Not a whole lot, just looking at camp spots that Gavin had marked that he was curious about. And then we decided it was time to head back to camp. I've got some updates from everyone when we got back to camp, so I'll play those now. And just to preface this next clip, I was not littering. Gavin found something that we had dropped.
All right, Mark. What was your favorite part of today?
A couple of those gnarly off-camber parts we were on.
Those were pretty fucking fun.
Yep.
Yeah. What is this, day 4? Or day 3?
Day 3.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All right, Alan, how was day 4?
Good.
You are a very boring person to interview.
I know.
Yeah. How's your beer?
Really good.
All right, good. Cool. What is it?
Kiono.
What is it?
What? What specifically?
Widowmaker.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right, Gavin, how was day 4?
Good. I mean, it was okay. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy, just...
No, we did Yuma. Did some other trails, and it was an easy day. Nobody broke long, and we were good.
No one broke long?
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have any failures, really.
My pulley.
Well, that's why I said long. Like, you just cut it off at the gas station. So yeah, nothing really.
No,
I mean,
it was a good trip.
Yeah.
When we got back to camp, God decided that we weren't wet enough, so he decided it was time for it to rain. We'd pretty much fought off the rain the whole weekend. We had a little bit of rain on day 2 while we were out wheeling, but nothing crazy. But we deserved it at this point. It was a good bout of rain.
All right, Mark, you want to tell us what you're making for us tonight?
Chicken street tacos.
Look at that. We eat well here at Botches.
after eating our tacos in the tent, everyone pretty much turned in pretty early at about 7:30. And that was the end of day 4. Pretty much this is the end of our Botches trip. The next day is just tear down and get out of there, but it was a great weekend. How's everyone's tacos?
Good.
Well, thanks for hanging out with me as we got through all these clips. I'll be putting together a YouTube video with it as well. That'll have, scenes of us doing some of these trails that we've talked about and seeing the trucks perform and stuff like that. Also interjected a little bit with these interviews because I did those in video format, so we'll be able to put those on there. Yeah, it was a great trip. We got a lot done. I say we got a lot done. It was all play. We'll have a longer actual post-trip episode that the guys will be on. I just wanted to get something together so you kind of knew how our weekend was. So yeah, I'm going to call it, and please tune in next time. You ready to go home, Mark?
Yes, I am. Very much so.
You at least have a good weekend?
Yes, I did.
All right.
Very good weekend.
Well, I think that's a wrap on Botches Yearly.
Yep.